I'd like to show you guys the longest, craziest job I've ever done with a line trimmer. And I've done this job more than once. I've actually done this 3 times. It just goes on and on. All that back to the fence line. And this is only one section of it. So I'm using the Stihl FS 251, the most powerful trimmer I got. Guard off, of course, especially for a job like this. Just chipping away at it, and there's not a weed whacker in the world that would make this job go quickly. So this job usually takes about 8 days, and it's not just this area right here. This is only one part of it, although this is a pretty big area. The first time that I worked on this property, which is about 5 years ago, when I came out and looked at it, it was shown around the property. I was just thinking, wow, this is a really huge place, and okay, I'm sure this guy just wants me to cut sections of it here and there, cut little fire breaks or whatever. He ended up just wanting me to cut the entire property. And I'm going, okay, this is going to take a while with the weed whackers, you can obviously tell, right? He's fine with it, and 8 days later, the whole place is cut. 8 hours every day, full throttle. I usually do this job over the course of a couple weeks or more so I can take care of some other customers in between. So guys, as far as trimmer line, I am using the Oregon Magnum Gator line round 105. I've been using this line and only this line for about 3 years now. Before this, I was using that Husqvarna Titanium, I think it's the Titanium Pro or something like that. I liked that line a lot as well, but I just couldn't find it for as good of a price as the Magnum Gator line by Oregon. I find that it's just the best bang for the buck, best value. It holds up really well. I find that the trimmer line with the Coronet does really seem to make a difference in the durability. And I always buy a round trimmer line just because I find that it's the strongest, it's the least likely to break when you're hitting hard objects, rocks, big sticks and stuff like that. And it seems to be the least likely to weld. It definitely still welds sometimes, especially on a hot day. And that's when the trimmer line sticks together in there and kind of melts together. So all trimmer lines weld together, but I just find that it happens less with round. The first time I did this job, I only owned one string trimmer, which was the KM131. And that was a great first trimmer to get. It's a good trimmer in general. Let me tell you guys what, a harness setup like this makes all the difference. Sometimes it gets a little bit too steep to want to use a harness. I got used to doing a lot of hillsides with my harness setup. There's definitely just some techniques you get used to, but yeah, sometimes it gets too steep and you just want to use your regular loop handled trimmer. You'll see that here in just a bit when I get on the hillside. I think the name of the game here is just zone out, daydream, enjoy the scenery. Try not to think about how vast this job is. The trimmer's getting a workout. I know that might be a little obvious. So this was nearing the end of the day right here, and this is gas tank fill number 9. I can't remember if I made it through 10 tanks or not that day, but that's pretty much what you can expect. I mean, this 251 is a gas guzzling pig. It's got the same size tank as the 240, but you got a little bit more displacement going on. It uses a little bit more gas than the 240. Goes through it. Of course, using a little bit more gas is totally worth it. I mean, who really cares about like a buck or two more in gas when you're getting more work done, right, guys? So I got the FS 131 bike as well, and that one definitely does feel a little bit lighter. It's a couple pounds lighter. It feels nice to put it on when you've been wearing the 251 for a while, but 131 just doesn't really have the grunt to go through this grass quite as easily. This is some thick grass here. Here's how your air filter starts to get real fast when you're cutting dry stuff like this. And I had just cleaned this filter out a day or two prior. Usually clean them out once, then the second time that I would go to clean it, I'll just replace instead. This filter's probably got 60, 70 hours on it, but I did just get a new turbo fan thing to blow them out, so I might extend that a little bit more. Might as well give it some grease. And I try to grease them between about every 25 and 35 hours or so, especially on these high-powered ones, because you guys got to figure this 251 here has got the same size gearbox in it as the 91, but you're putting a lot more power through it. Good N95 dust mask is completely mandatory for me for these jobs, and I got to have the 3M with the cool flow. I've worked with people before that were cutting this kind of stuff with no mask on. Totally crazy to me. Okay, I'm working on a steep hillside, and I got the KM 131. This is a great trimmer that I have on me at all times. This is what I do all steep hillsides with that are too steep to use the harness gear. And I've got the hedge trimmer attachment for this. I think that's the only... Oh, I do have the brush cutter attachment as well, and I do use blades once in a while on it. Can you guys hear how much more pleasant this 4MIX engine sounds than a 2-stroke? To me, it just overall sounds quieter. It's not as high pitched. I definitely like the way it sounds more. The only thing that a lot of people, including myself, don't really like about the Stihl 4MIX line trimmers is the way they accelerate. It's just kind of like all or nothing. It's pretty hard to hold it at a really, really low, gentle RPM. It just wants to ramp right up to full throttle. So it's not really the easiest thing to trim with around delicate areas. And that's one thing that the 240s, 251, 2-stroke stuff is just much better with. Coming up to some poison oak here on the left. There's all I like to call the devil's plant. So we'll just go around that real quick. It's just like I told the customer last time, there was a fair amount of poison oak on the hill. There's some parts of it I can't cut. Well, being the understanding customer he is, hey, no problem. So I might come back later this year to spray it. Hillside proved to be pretty painful. I was getting peppered with small rocks the whole time. Part of that was my fault for having the guard off. Got hit with a couple rocks in the leg. It hurt pretty bad. I got hit with a rock on the inside of the knee. That one hurt. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.